The Anker F3800 is a thoughtfully designed modern powerhouse. It has some questionable input options, but when it comes to output, this thing's actually a beast. So welcome back to the lab, guys. Today we're taking a look at the Anker F3800. This is our second ever product from Anker, and we had high expectations. Anker's a company that's been around for a long time. They're like the #1 mobile charging brand or something like that in the world. And so with that comes high expectations. And so for $34.99, my real big question with this unit is this giant skyscraper worth your hard-earned money? And before we get into it, you guys know here at the lab, our opinions cannot be bought, but we do have some links down below in the description if you want to check this thing out. Scoop it from wherever you feel comfortable buying it, or don't. And in case you guys aren't familiar with the F3800, before we jump into it, we'll hit you with a super quick 60-second teardown. First up, this unit failed the tiny baby lift test. Now he claims, he claims he can lift it. It's too awkward. This thing weighs 132 pounds. So for clarification, tiny baby can lift that much weight. Keep it in your pants. Not when it's shaped like this. He did pull through on the expansion battery though, which weighs 72 pounds. This unit has a 3,840 watt-hour battery with a 6,000 watt inverter with a surge of 9,000 watts, which is impressive. This unit can be expanded up to 53.8 watt hours, and each expansion battery is 3,840 watts. We got a 50 amp plug on the side as well as an L14, both of which can run 120 or 240. And then you have 6 regular 120 wall outlets. On the front, you have 3 USB-Cs, 2 USB-As, and 1 12-volt car socket. And on the other side, you have 2 solar input connections, but the max solar input on this unit is only 2,400 watts, which I wish was a little bit higher, as well as 1 120 AC connection. So you can actually charge this thing up from the outlet in your house in just over 2 hours from 0 to full. There's also a plug for expansion battery as well as a plug for Anker's smart home panel, which we will get into in a different video. There is a ton of things we absolutely love about this Anker F3800. And the first one is that this is one of the first units that advertises AC coupling, which is really cool. Basically what that means is that when this is plugged in to your house, you're getting solar fed, the excess can charge this. If your house is running off AC, like just the grid, when that's coming into the house, it can also charge this up. And so no matter what, when you have a power outage, this thing is ready to go at all times. I actually really love the fact that it's built like a giant tower. It fits into a lot of rooms in your house a lot more naturally than like a lot of the other Delta Pro or any other unit actually that I can think of at all. But Anker also built it to be able to be laid down. And so not only does this open up storage possibilities throughout your house, but it also makes it a little bit easier to travel with, maybe put it inside of like an RV or a trailer or something like that. But in doing so, again, they have these little rubber bump stops underneath the handle, which make it super easy to lay down. There's also a secret handle hidden underneath the booty. So that is super nice. Again, it's just the little things that make you just feel like you're kind of getting what you pay for. Obviously the handle, again, is just a really nice thing. A lot of these units have handles, but this is just a solid handle. It picks up 130, what does this thing weigh? 132 pounds, and it tucks away into a nice hidden spot. It's not obvious and bulky. And as I mentioned earlier, this thing is a beast. It's only a 3,800 watt-hour battery, but this inverter not only does the split phase, so you can run 120 or 240 out of both of these plugs right here, but this is a 6,000 watt inverter with a 9,000 watt surge, which means that while this is still a smaller battery, if you are using it for home backup, you can still have a situation where you don't have power and you run tons of shit in your house all at once because that's what you need right then. It won't last you forever, but it can do it. And if you double up 2 of these guys, you can actually get an output of 12,000 watts. And as always, especially when talking about inverters, when you're dealing with Anker, you get to take advantage of all of the technology that they have patented over that time, like the IQ ports on the front. This just means that when these ports, for example, are going to work charging your phone, it uses less power, meaning it's able to give your phone more power more efficiently. We also ran a pretty aggressive kitchen load on the F3800, and at about 3,200 watts, it made no noise. Sweet. And I would say the final thing that we just really liked about the Anker F3800 is how easy it is to expand. The batteries weigh a metric shit ton, but they're small. A lot of other units like a Delta Pro, for example, the expansion battery is the exact same size as the unit itself. What's really nice is this unit is about the height of 2.5 of these expansion batteries. So it's not as bulky when you start adding these guys up if you're trying to slowly expand on your home. Okay, dude, where's the tiny baby when you need him? Oof. Do that on the ground, don't do that on the table. Check this guy out. This is the first doinker that we've ever seen that connects an expansion battery to a unit that's soft. And so not only is the expandability on this unit simple, it has the added bonus of you can plug this in, and then if you want to go ahead and put this in your house, it may look big and bulky right now, but this thing right here is the most flaccid doinker we've ever experienced. This guy right here, you can push it right up against the unit. There's no rigidity to this at all. So if you want to push this up against something, you actually don't need this much space. And what's also nice is that while this is plugged in, you can take the battery, you can move it around. You would never be able to do that with the Elephant that comes with the Blue Eddy. And why is that cool? Well, that's cool because if you have this stuffed in a slide out on your RV or somewhere nice in your trailer and you don't have the room above it, you can still take the expansion battery, put it here, and this guy will work and twist in perfectly fine. Sorry, Larry, Blue Eddy just ain't it. And this transitions us perfectly into a couple of things that we just don't like about the Anker F3800. Starting with, we found the fans to be a little bit picky. And what I mean by that is I've run a very simple test on the solar generators we have where we put them in our office, then we work. They run our computers and whatever else we have running in the office. But during that time, I found that at first, the fan would come on like once every little while, just right off. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. But after a couple of hours of running, just a little bit of load, we found that the fan would kind of kick on, kick off, kick on, kick off. If it's somewhere where it's very easy to hear the unit and you have it at that weird load range, can be kind of frustrating because it's consistently kicking on and off. That could be something as simple as a software update that fixes it, who knows, but for a day or so, that was driving me absolutely insane. The unit also came with these really nice splitters. So there's two imports here. The problem with these splitters that it came with is these are MC4 connectors, and this little yellow connector is not this. And that's kind of confusing to me because Anker's actually normally really good at giving you really good plug options. Otherwise, there's not much to talk about in terms of things that we don't like about this unit. It performed exactly as expected. It's a really solid unit. As always, Anker's app is actually just unreal. I really like that they show the little unit at the top. Everything's very easy to use, and the app gives you access to the hidden light on the front of this, and you guys know I'm a big light guy. Now, this is not gonna help you see. It's actually not gonna do anything for you. You press a little button on here and the light comes on. And it's just aesthetically pleasing. It's like a night light, you know? That's all it is, like a night light. Like a little ambiance, it's kind of nice, you know? In terms of how this thing stacks up on the market though, Anker does a really good job of kind of like taking the gap that all the other products are leaving and kind of inserting a product into it, which they've done again with this. It doesn't directly compare to like anything, but it really closely compares to a lot. I think when it comes time to actually get into a really close comparison, we have to start looking at the Delta Pro. This thing has a 3600 watt hour battery with a 3600 watt inverter. So pretty similar battery size, smaller inverter. It's kind of a toad. This is still only $800 more, and it does 240 right out of it. And you need two of these to do 240, and you need two of these to match the inverter size of this guy. So, well, this is a good competitor, but if I had to make the choice, I'm going right here. We can also compare it to the High Solis Apollo 5K. The Apollo 5K is a beast. It's got this cool little screen that comes off and you can mount it on the wall and it still works. It's got Wi-Fi. It only accepts high voltage solar. It's got, again, options out the wazoo on the back for how you want to plug it in, how you want to plug it out. You could throw this thing out of an airplane and it would grow wings and land softly. Beast. Different beast. So the High Solis 5K costs roughly $6,800 on sale from $7,000 something that it normally is. This thing has a 5,000 watt hour battery, so it is a little bit bigger than this, but with one unit, you get a 3,000 watt inverter. The only thing that really competes, the Delta Pro Ultra. I know what you're thinking. Actually, I don't, but if you're like me, you might be thinking that how the hell does this compete with this because they're kind of not the same. In my opinion, this is meant for like whole home backup. This is meant to be portable power / home backup. You can expand it to infinity and beyond and power your entire house. I get that. And while this might have better specs, has a 6,000 kilowatt hour battery, 3,800 watt hour battery, 7,000 watt inverter, 6,000 watt inverter, which is actually amazingly close. 240, 240. Comparisons aside, which we have a whole video on this thing if you guys want to check it out. At the end of the day, if you're looking to make a decision, this costs $5,799. This costs $3,499. And so if you add a single, God, dude, we gotta stop doing reviews on the table. Now, the CN Tower costs $4,700. You're in the same ballpark. But now it gets interesting. Now this has a 6,000 watt hour battery, and this has a 7,680 watt hour battery, 7,000 watt inverter, 6,000 watt inverter, and both do 240, and this one's way more portable, way more maneuverable. This is a stable Mabel. It's meant to sit in the corner of your garage and never move ever. And it basically just keeps going. Every time you add a battery or another unit and you do the equivalent over here, you end up with a bigger and bigger price gap. So, well, yes, this might have a little bit of a higher solar input, this might not. Nitty gritty stuff, you guys can determine that on your own. But at the end of the day, if you're looking for pure bang for your buck, not to mention actual attention to detail that we always love finding in the Anker units, me, lifestyle, personal choice, I'd go here. Cody was just chirping saying he'd go here. We both get it. Comparisons aside, should you buy this? I think that's kind of up to you. I think Delta Pro Ultra stacks in your garage nicer, but I think this fits the lifestyle of someone who's gonna bring it around a lot better. And right now, no one paid me to tell you this. Me and Cody are just good humans, and we did our due diligence and did some research before we made our video. You can buy this thing from Anker's website. It's Anker's website that has the panels. Anker's website has, you buy the unit, you get a panel. It's a 200 watt panel. It's also on sale on Shop Solar's website right now. So if you guys are watching this when the video goes live, check, there's links in the description down below. Check it out. You can either save some money or get it with a free panel or do nothing. Personally, it makes no difference to me. All that I want you guys to do is go down below and comment some tests you would like to see us run this through. We're working on a new little setup where we can absolutely just abuse units and show you guys kind of some more real life data. That is all I got for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one. Peace out and stay charged.